Hi, and welcome to this Ingram Micro Microsoft Academy Series webinar. I'm Clayton Molyneux from Microsoft, and in the next 20 minutes or so, you're going to learn about great new opportunities to deliver solutions utilizing Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure will be especially appealing to those of you who love creating things. Azure is like a box of Lego. There's lots of pieces which you can put together to create all sorts of fantastic things. The point here though is your small business customers aren't going to do the building. They'll need you to put the pieces together and deliver them a fantastic service. Azure gives you the ability to create services and solutions that only a year or so ago were probably not anywhere within the budget of most of your small business customers, or perhaps even beyond the investment levels you were willing to make in staff and infrastructure. But now you have access to a cloud platform that enables you to quickly build, deploy, and manage amazing solutions for your customers. There are three solutions in particular which we think are great opportunities for you to get started around and that are particularly relevant for SMB customers. Firstly, there's the ability to offer data backup in the cloud. With Azure, you can provide easy, scalable data backup in the cloud for a range of applications, such as simple file servers through to SharePoint, SQL Server, and Exchange. We'll drill down into this particular scenario and give you an example solution a little later in this video. Secondly, you can deploy applications within virtual machines. Azure opens up this opportunity to help customers deploy applications in the cloud by hosting them in Azure VMs. Windows Server 2003 end of life is in July 2015, so this presents a huge opportunity to drive this particular scenario, given the number of small business customers that are still utilizing Windows Server 2003. With Azure, applications can be deployed quickly by moving them into an Azure VM. And the great thing is, for the customer, there are no upfront infrastructure costs, you can usually reduce the IT management costs, and the applications can scale up or down as needed. You do need to be across the licensing implications and use rights for these VM on Azure scenarios. So look out for a Demo Army tour of duty to help you understand more about this. If you don't know what the Demo Army is, stay tuned, we'll explain a bit more about that too later in the video. Thirdly, there's a great opportunity on Azure it offers the perfect platform to deploy scalable websites. Now, this might be more of a niche scenario for partners that already offer web development and website hosting, or it could be an opportunity perhaps for new revenue streams for partners who don't already offer this service. Now, it could be the customer's main website that we're talking about hosting, or it could be websites which need to be deployed quickly and just for short periods of time, perhaps for a particular marketing campaign or a project, for example. They'd be two examples of great opportunities to host websites on Azure. The whole idea of Azure in Open is it allows you to build a solution to resell to your customer in a traditional reseller model that you're familiar with. A model where you price the product or service and you own the billing. To help you price the services, there's a great Azure calculator you need to get your hands on. Download it by going to the partner marketing portal at readytogo.microsoft.com and just search for Azure calculator in the search box and it'll pop up in the #1 result. The calculator will spit out the estimated annual cost of the Azure consumption for the services that you choose. And once you have that, it's just a matter of ordering that Azure consumption value through the Open License program, which is actually pretty simple. There's just one solitary Azure SKU under Open License, which is a $100 value token. So if your solution prices up at, say, $450 in the calculator, you just order 5 times Azure SKUs to ensure you have enough to cover your estimated solution cost. You have the opportunity to make a margin on these SKUs, of course. It's around about 15% when you resell them to your customer. But it's more likely that you'll package the Azure cost with your own support and management services and present a total package solution to your customer. We'll talk about that more in the solution example a little later on. Here's a quick view of how the process looks to resell and activate the Azure tokens. One activation key is dynamically created no matter how many SKUs you order on a particular order, and it's made available in the VLSC just as with any open license. In most cases, of course, you as the partner will be activating the Azure portal on behalf of the customer. And you have the opportunity to make yourself an admin of the portal and also to configure and receive alerts when credit is running low or is close to expiring. And as with most new modern solutions, of course, Azure is an annuity model where you'll continue to earn revenue as you renew the service each year. To make this a bit more real for you, let's now spend 5 or 10 minutes delving into a real solution scenario. And as I mentioned earlier, in this case, let's concentrate on the Azure backup. Microsoft Azure Backup is essentially a simple and reliable server backup to the cloud. There is no steep learning curve. The fundamental workflow that you experience when you back up and restore files and folders to and from the Azure service by using the Azure Backup agent are the same workflows that you would have experienced using just about any other type of backup. You identify the items to backup using a backup client on the server, and those items are copied to storage where they can be used later if they're needed. The difference, of course, is that Azure Backup delivers a great backup solution, an encrypted offsite backup on data centers with advanced security and redundancy features no less, but without any initial hardware costs, without any initial upfront software costs, or any ongoing consumable costs, which are all often prohibitive factors in traditional backup solutions for small business. Let's talk about a few scenarios where Azure Backup might be a great solution for a customer. One of those scenarios is when they're acquiring a new Windows server. In this example, let's say they're purchasing a new server with 0.5 terabyte of hard drive storage. Attached to that, you want to provide an Azure Backup solution with a capacity of, say, 100 gigabytes. You've estimated 100 gig will be plenty of backup for their on-premises documents and maybe their line of business app data, at least within the first year anyway. So how, as a reseller, do you price up this solution? How do you procure it? Well, Azure is priced on a services consumption model. So firstly, let's get the estimated cost of a 100 gigabyte backup service. Backup is billed at a metered rate of 29 cents per gigabytes per month. So let me do some maths and put this in terms of a monthly or annual cost, which makes a little bit more sense. So it equates to around about $29 a month or $348 a year for this 100 gigabyte service. I'll show you a little later how to find out the cost of services. It's pretty easy. So as a reseller, what we need to do is ensure we provide customers with enough Azure consumption credit to cover this solution we're proposing. And now Azure is available in the open license program, it's become simple for traditional resellers to provide services on Azure within that traditional reseller model. Azure in open license for a commercial customer is pretty simple. There's just one SKU, which is an Azure token where $100 is the value for the consumption credit on Azure. So to ensure we have enough credit in this example to cover the estimated $348 cost of our proposed backup solution, we'd simply need to sell 4 times Azure tokens, giving that customer a total of $400 in credit. So that's simply 4 times the single SKU, the SKU I've got listed here, which is the open commercial license SKU. As a reseller purchasing that through distribution, there is of course an opportunity to resell it at a margin. And resellers may also add service fees like setup fee, for example, and perhaps optionally a managed service fee as well. So here the solution is presented to the customer, perhaps simply as a 100 gigabyte offsite backup solution for 12 months at a cost of $500. The $500 being the cost of the Azure tokens plus the additional services fee you might charge for setting it up. Additionally, you might choose to package it up as an ongoing service, especially our managed service providers might choose this model. So you package up the monitoring of the backup and restoring the backups as required, for example, and you present that to your customer as a complete backup managed service, and in this case, for $700 in this example. Another scenario where Azure Backup is a great option is for customers who are already on or about to move to Office 365. In this case, much of what the customer may traditionally have backed up on premises, their email and files, is being moved to the Office 365 service, which has some backup and redundancy features effectively built in. However, it might be the case that the customer still uses an on-premise line of business application. MYOB would be a good example in Australia. And so this would still require a great backup solution, perhaps something more reliable than what they already have, or certainly something simpler to manage. So this is a good opportunity for Azure Backup as well. In this case, perhaps we could pitch a 50 gig storage facility for the backup. Maybe their MYOB database in this example is already 20 or 30 gig. We're leaving a bit of room for growth. And again, we can see the maths there. It's going to work out to be around about $15 a month, $174 annually. So to cover off that estimated burn rate, if you like, over that year, we'd need to cover we'll need to sell 2 Azure tokens through the open license program to get that $200 to make sure we cover off the amount we need for this service. So there'll be 2 of those SKUs. And again, we've got the option to add our services fee and an ongoing managed service if we like as well. So before I go, I just wanted to point out 3 key resources for you. The first one is the Microsoft Demo Army, which you can access at aka.ms/Demo Army. The Demo Army is all about us trying to help you as resellers understand what's possible with these new modern technology solutions, because sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. So that's what the Demo Army is all about. Go on there, there's some great videos to help explain to you not only what the end user demonstration looks like, but also a technical demonstration of how to set some of the technology up, and finally some more solution scenario type videos explaining to you how to sell down to specific SKUs that you might need for a particular solution. So go there, send your sales and tech guys there, get them to have a look at the videos. The whole idea is to enable you guys to understand how to deliver great solutions, and then also be able to go out and show off the great solutions to your customers. There is a bit of a competitive element there. You get the chance to register demos and register sales. You earn points and climb the ranks, and there's some other benefits and things available to you as part of that program. Also, make sure you continue to utilize the MS PowerUp program, where you're getting discounts through distribution through Ingram Micro on open license sales. So you can go into the www.mspowerup.com portal, register your open license sales. There is a minimum amount which is very low. I think it's down at $500, so they only, even in small deals, will qualify, and you can get up to 2.5% and I think up to 5% for larger deals. Ingram Micro can give you all the details, and they can help you through that registration process. But if you're selling Office 365 through open license, make sure you register the deals, because you're basically missing out on additional licensing margin if you don't register the deals in the system. And finally, check out the Cloud Champion program, which we ran earlier this year. All those webinars, there were 12 of them, are all saved at the aka.ms/Cloud Champion blog page. So go check out those existing webinars that have already been completed. There's some great information there, over 12 separate webinars. But more importantly, there will also be a reboot of the Cloud Champion program in a few weeks' time, and we'll kick off with some updated content as well. So make sure you look out for that. And finally, before I go, make sure, for any advice and assistance with your Microsoft Cloud solutions, with Office 365, be sure to contact our great friends at Ingram Micro. They have a specific cloud team who are there to assist and give advice around the cloud solutions for Microsoft. So make sure you email them at imcloudau@ingrammicro.com. That's imcloudau@ingrammicro.com. That's the best resource to get all your advice and assistance around cloud solutions at Ingram Micro. Thanks again for sitting through this webinar. I hope it's been useful for you. We'll see you again very soon. Thank you.